Right, I'm tempted for sheer shits and giggles to attempt to do this all in one continuous shot and not cut away at all. So if you're watching this and it's all done in one continuous shot, I'm well impressed with myself. What I wanted to talk about is Spicy110. Spicy110. He's a motovlogger far more popular than I am. And basically this video is a kind of a video response, if you like, to a question that he asked in his most recent video, one of his most recent videos. He seems to make one every 5 minutes, about how you got the motorbiking bug. Basically, yes, I'm going to respond to that question by explaining how I got the motorbiking bug. That's sort of how this thing works. So basically, I am struggling to make this all one shot. So basically, this story begins, shall we say, with some of my friends. So basically, there's a group of 6 of us. Myself, Shifty, Cannon, the Duchess, whose full title is Her Ladyship Duchess Pauline Dickpit. But obviously that is a bit of a mouthful, so to speak. So it's abbreviated to just Duchess. Goof Troop, who I believe has been mentioned, but not by got a code name. And Ollie. Yes, Shifty and Cannon have their full direct accesses. They're both riding around on 600s. I own a Varadero and I'm going to take my test in a couple of months, or a couple of weeks, sorry. Goof Troop, I love that name. Goof Troop did own a 125 Varadero, but then sold it in order to be able to afford his test, which I can kind of see the logic, but it's a bit of an inconvenience. I don't know, we're utterly convinced, well, when I say we, I am utterly convinced that what's going to happen is he's going to piss away all that money on alcohol and, I don't know, biscuits, whatever it is he buys, and then not have a bike, not have a test, and not have any money. But I'm sure he'll be horrified that I've said that and incredibly upset, because apparently that's not going to happen at all. Yes, he's going to say that, but it's just not true. And the Duchess, the Duchess has had a CVT for the same length of time as Cannon. So, I don't know, maybe 6 months now? A good couple of months longer than I've had mine. However, possibly by virtue of being a Duchess and, you know, sort of coming from money, so to speak, he/she hasn't actually got a job, and as such hasn't been able to afford a bike, and certainly can't afford the full test and a big bike, etc, etc. So yes, he claims that he works for the government. What he means by that is he's on the dole. Basically, the way I got into motorbiking was by the lot of us all going off on a trip to France to a house owned by the Duchess's parents. I'm trying to work out what their titles would be if he really was a Duchess. I don't know, Count or something. Anyway, we went there. Basically, they had this little pit bike, little 50cc pit bike or field bike or whatever they want to call it. And I think we were there for about 4 or 5 days, and we just messed about on this thing so much. It was absolutely brilliant fun. And yeah, it was good. We enjoyed ourselves, and then kind of came back, and I think Shifty's been. I spent the last like 2 years trying to convince one or all of us to get motorbikes, and I think it was one of those things where I just sort of said, oh yeah, no, I probably will, blah, 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 blah. As admittedly as much as anything to shut him up. And just because he just went on and on about it. We're like, yeah, definitely get one, yeah. And then went and rode this little field bike, and it was friggin' hilarious. So it was great fun. So came back and bought a bike. Pretty much how it went down. I've failed cataclysmically at making this into one continuous shot, I can guarantee. I don't know, I should probably try to think of other things that Spicy110 said that I can kind of go on about. Oh yeah, actually, that was the other thing that he makes there's another thing he makes really regular, well, reasonably frequent anyway, mention of, and that is the whole 125 over big bike scenario. Now, I am currently riding a 125 on the Varadero. It has 14.6 brake horsepower. Oh my god. It's probably the fastest 125 in the world. It's not at all. It's alright, it'll do 75, 80 down a hill with a tailwind, and yet I'm incredibly excited about the fact that I've just booked my direct access with the intention of buying a bigger bike. So yeah, a little bit of hypocrisy there for you if you're enjoying that. Oh my god, there's an alarm of something going off somewhere, and it's fucking annoying. I've been out here 5 minutes. What are you about to kill me? Now, I'm about to do something that's legality is, shall we say, skeptical. Not going through an orange light, that's thoroughly not skeptical, that's definitely illegal. What I'm about to do is this. Now, I've seen a lot of people do that. And there's no sign saying no doing ridiculous U-turns onto this slip road. But then part of me kind of thinks that's probably because they shouldn't really need a sign, because it's friggin' obvious, because doing that would just be stupid. But seen other people do it, done it a couple of times, quite enjoyed it as much as you can enjoy doing a U-turn. This is great. I'm really enjoying this. Just having other people to follow through. See you later, lads.